And right after the news hour, David Seymour, James Shaw, Rawiri Waititi and Winston Peters go head-to-head. Some big topics on the menu tonight, like co-governance, the cost of living, climate change and raising the retirement age. Plus, who's willing to work with who? I'll see you in about 10 minutes for our multi-party debate.
And thank you for being with us too. That's it from the 6 p.m. team this evening. Stick around though. Here's Jack with the multi-party debate.
Kia ora, Simon, thank you. Kia ora, te wino mai, haere mai, and welcome to TVNZ's multi-party debate. While National and Labour duke it out, some of the parties represented here tonight will play a critical role in forming the next government. Good evening. More than 200,000 New Zealanders have cast an early ballot so far in this year's election, but there is still a massive chunk of you our candidates are keen to persuade tonight. Fighting for your vote this election is ACT leader David Seymour, New Zealand First leader Winston Peters, Green Party co-leader James Shaw, and Rawiri Waititi of Te Pāti Māori. Rawiri, we just want to acknowledge the recent passing of your mother.
Yep.
If there is one thing that everyone here and watching at home can agree on tonight, there are a lot of dudes on the dance floor. As well as these leaders, we will hear from a range of voices tonight as we discuss coalition dynamics, trust and leadership, plus the issues that matter most to lots of you, like crime, the cost of living, and the age-old old age question of superannuation. Along with you at home, watching the candidates square off is our live studio audience. Thank you for being here. And don't forget, right after the debate, we will analyse their respective performances. Political editor Jessica Mutch-McKay will have an all-star Top of the Pops panel breaking down what our candidates had to say. In case you're wondering, we have sign language interpreters on hand, so switch over to Freeview Channel 200 to see them. Gentlemen, let's get into it. I want to start with values. I will give each of you an opportunity to answer this question. Tell us briefly, Winston Peters, you can go first. Why are the values of your party in the best interests of New Zealand?
Well, it's in our party name. We call our party New Zealand First because we believe that New Zealanders should be put first. We're not globalists. We believe that our sovereignty and our long history will prevail now.
David Seymour.
Look, it's been a long campaign and I can understand a lot of people may feel over it, but it's also true that we just cannot afford to carry on the way that we've been going, and it can't be true that sorely needs after the last 6 years.
Rawiri Waititi, why are the values of your party in the best interests of New Zealand?
Well, tēnā koe, Jack, and tēnā koe mo te mihi ki taku koka I tēnei pō. Well, first of all, Te Pāti Māori is the only tangata whenua party in this race. And so it's time that we have tangata whenua ensuring that we're a part of every political decision in this country.
Yay or a nay, a yes or a no. Rawiri Waititi, as a politician, is it ever okay not to tell the truth?
Never.
Winston Peters.
If you've got any brains, you'll tell the truth because you'll be seen and found out and your body language will show it.
David Seymour.
Won't it?
No, it's not.
James Shaw.
No, I think integrity is critical.
Whether in drought, an increase in cyclones or flash flooding, all of us are affected by extreme weather events. Next, we will find out what these leaders are going to do to combat climate change. Hoki mai, welcome back. Take a look at the last couple of weeks of extreme weather. Australia has recorded 36 degrees Celsius in early spring. New York is dealing with wildfire smoke as it cleans up from the weekend's flash flooding. And climate scientists called an emergency summit over the record low sea ice around Antarctica. If you find the changing climate disturbing, you're not alone.
We don't need any more change.
Is it? I will give each of our leaders here tonight an opportunity to finish the sentence. Climate change is. James Shaw, climate change is
a risk to humanity.
In this country, and still won after 4.5 years, all the way to the Privy Council. Okay. That's our record.
All right.
Not a promise.
He's been there 40 years and still nothing done.
That's a good place to leave things. We have an ageing population. Next, we will dive into a conversation over the future of superannuation. Kia ora, welcome back. On average, non-Māori New Zealanders have better education outcomes, longer life expectancies and aren't imprisoned at the same rates as Māori. Let's start with the why, then we will look at how to rebalance the books. Rawiri Waititi, why do non-Māori typically have such better outcomes?
Because the settings of this country has created that. We're not
Can they pay the rent? Can they pay the bills? Can they pay for their power? Those kinds of
I'm
things.
glad you got to
this
some of those subjects because we're going to get to those very shortly as well. Coming up, we will ask these leaders how they plan to make Aotearoa safer. Tēnā koutou, welcome back to TVNZ's multi-party debate. Let's talk law and order. David Seymour, I'll start with you. What causes crime?
Look, it's ultimately people taking actions that they shouldn't. You know, Jack, I was asked the other day by a journalist, can you tell me one country where locking people...
I never voted for the Green Party.
All right, don't go anywhere. Coming up, we're talking the cost of living. Heaps of you are short on cash at the moment, so keep watching to see who has the best plan for getting us all back in the black. Hi, welcome back. We are turning our attention to the cost of living now because for most of you, thriving is a dream and the reality is you are barely surviving at the moment. Let's have a quick show of hands. Does anyone here think National's tax plan is credible? Does anyone here think that Labor's plan to remove... All right. Clearly, this is a subject that will have a lot of attention in the coming days. Good luck for the remainder of the campaign. Ko mutu, that ends this year's TVNZ multi-party debate. David Seymour, Winston Peters, James Shaw and Rawiri Waititi. Ngā mihi kia koutou. Thank you for your time and good luck over the next few days. Polls are open, of course, so make sure you cast your vote. Did we hit all the right notes tonight? Here to mull it over is One News political editor Jessica Mutch-McKay and plenty to discuss, Jess.
So many things to discuss, Jack. That was really interesting to hear from all the leaders. And here to help me do that is a special panel of political insiders. They'll be with me right after the break with their analysis. Welcome back to the post-match analysis of our multi-party debate. Joining me with their hot takes are journalist Guyan Espiner, former Labour Minister Chris Whāwhoi and former National Party Press Secretary Janet Wilson. They had a lot to talk about today, and there was a lot to watch. We had a lot to have a chat about back there when we were watching this. Guyan, I'll start off with you. What were your first impressions?
Oh, I think all the leaders really stuck to their lanes, didn't they? Winston Peters seemed to be appealing to a slightly older crowd. He took us on a potted history of the 20th century, brought in his Aparana Nata book early on. I think, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll take a pause and come back after the break. Don't go anywhere. There's still a lot more to discuss, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back. I'm here with our expert panel poring over the stunners and the shockers from our multi-party debate. I want to talk about Winston Peters.
I know, funny, yeah.
Oh, that's great. You guys had a couple of zingers in there as well, I think. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. That's all we've got time for. Thank you for being with us. Thank you to our panellists, Chris Whāwhoi, Janet Wilson and Guyan Espiner. If you fancy yourself as a bit of an armchair commentator, and I know there'll be a few of you out there, and let us know what you think of the leaders tonight. Go to onenews.co.nz/vote compass. And if you missed out on any moments of the debate, you can catch up on TVNZ+. That's where you'll also find a version of sign language interpreters there. But from us, Pō Mārie, good night.
election night, you want up-to-the-minute coverage.
And as the results come in-depth analysis of what it all means for you.
Along with insights and interviews from all our on-the-spot reporters right across the country.
Find out everything you want to know. Who will lead the next government? Join us for the One News Your Vote 2023 election night. Saturday, October 14th from 7, live on 1 and TVNZ+.